Hello again, it's story time. The story for today is Romola Go Home. Romola was a beautiful young woman with a fierce determination and an unyielding spirit. She had lived with her parents in the village of Banji all her life and had always done things her own way. Her parents had always tried to advise her and guide her in the right direction, but Romola was too headstrong to listen. As she grew older and reached the age where she was expected to get married, many men came to her parents seeking her hand in marriage, but Romola refused them all. Her parents advised her to choose one of the suitors who was well behaved and financially successful, but Romola would have none of it. One day, on her way to the stream to fetch water, she met a man unlike any she had ever seen before. He was handsome and had a smile that could light up the entire village. Romola was instantly smitten, and she found herself thinking about him all the time. It seemed like fate was on her side, for every time she went to the stream after that, she would meet the handsome stranger. They would talk and laugh, and before long, Romola knew that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with him. Despite the warnings of her parents and the disapproval of the villagers, Romola married the handsome stranger. They had a simple ceremony, and afterwards they set off on a journey to his home. Romola was so in love with her new husband that she didn't care where they were going, as long as she was with him. As they traveled through the countryside, Romola noticed that her husband would occasionally break out into song. He sang, "Romola, go home, Romola, I live in the deeps, Romola, she who can swim will thrive, Romola, and she who can swim is lost, Romola, so Romola, go home, Romola, I live in the deep sea, Romola." She would ask him what the song was about, but he would only smile and tell her it was just a little tune he had picked up along the way. But as they journeyed further, Romola began to notice strange-looking people along the way. They would call out to her husband and ask him to return various body parts that he had borrowed from them. Romola was confused and frightened by this, but her husband reassured her that it was nothing to worry about. He explained that he had borrowed the body parts to help him on his journey and that he needed to return them before they could continue. As they traveled further, Romola watched in horror as her husband began to give back the borrowed body parts one by one. First it was his arms, then his legs, then his eyes and his ears. Romola was frightened and didn't understand what was happening, but she trusted her husband and continued to follow him. Finally, they reached the sea, and Romola's husband gave back the last of the borrowed body parts. He rolled into the sea and Romola followed him. As they disappeared beneath the waves, Romola realized that her husband was not a man at all, but some sort of sea creature who had tricked her into following him. But it was too late. Romola and her husband were lost to sight, and no one ever saw them again. The villagers searched for them for years, but they were never found. Romola's parents were heartbroken, and they never forgot the lesson that their daughter's tragic fate had taught them. That sometimes it's better to listen to the advice of those who love you than to follow your heart blindly. And also, it is proper to get to know well the person to whom you are getting married. Thank you for watching.